Is this young pitcher the next Garrett Cole? Cam Schlittler just took a perfect game bid into the 6th inning, and his repertoire looked absolutely brilliant against the Rays. We saw him utilize his secondary pitches more often, and late in the game, he beautifully executed a 3-2 cutter to wipe out Junior Caminero. Last time Schlittler faced the Rays, he hung a cutter to the star third baseman, who proceeded to launch it into the stands for a 2-run blast. This time, however, he would set Caminero up with 99 miles per hour on the outer half of the plate, overpowering him with a dominant fastball before executing a beautiful cutter down and away for his 8th strikeout of the night. It's easy to see how Caminero was fooled. That cutter and four-seam fastball come out of the hand and approach the plate in the same manner, but the cutter dives away last second, creating that ugly swing as Caminero swings right over it. If you look at Cam Schlittler's evolution with the Yankees, he has now ditched a sweeper and is a 4-pitch pitcher at the moment, using his four-seamer, cutter, curveball, and sinker, which each have distinct movement profiles. To righties, he's using the four-seamer, cutter, and sinker. The cutter allows him to move the ball away from righties, the sinker allows him to move it into righties, and that four-seam fastball is an overpowering pitch at the top of the zone. Switch over to lefties, and he's got the four-seamer for the top of the zone, the curveball at the bottom of the zone, and a cutter you can use as the bridge pitch. There are nearly 30 inches of vertical separation between his four-seamer and cutter, creating the kind of look that can baffle left-handed batters. With a 3.22 ERA and 38 strikeouts in his first 7 starts, it's safe to say that Schlittler has been pretty productive in his first stint with the Yankees, but I don't think we're close to seeing the most polished version of the tall right-hander. He is a tweak or two away from potentially becoming a frontline starter. The first one to me is consistently locating the cutter away from right-handed batters. If you can throw that pitch and keep it off the barrels of righties, he's going to get a lot more swings and misses. The second may be adding a 5th pitch, as we could see a changeup, or maybe the restoration of his sweeper, perhaps with a different shape, to allow him to have another pitch he can go to and keep hitters off balance. We already know that Cam Schlittler has the potential to be a frontline starter, but we can measure the nastiness of his repertoire with a metric like Stuff Plus. This stat was developed by Eno Saris and Max Bay, who are two of the smartest minds in the baseball community, and this is a stat that only looks at the physical characteristics of a pitch, taking into account its velocity, movement, release point, and spin, among other variables. When looking at the top 5 pitchers in terms of Stuff Plus this season, specifically looking at starting pitchers, Hunter Green leads the way with Garrett Crochet and Jacob Mizorowski tied in 2nd place. Shohei Ohtani is 4th, but then you look at that 5th spot and you find Cam Schlittler. Now, Stuff Plus isn't everything. Command does matter, and some pitchers can overperform Stuff Plus models. But the group of pitchers he's grouped with are burgeoning frontline pitchers in this game. What it does tell us is that Cam Schlittler is nasty and has a ton of potential in his right arm that could translate into him becoming a frontline starter. At a 118 Stuff Plus, Schlittler measures up with Garrett Cole's career peak Stuff Plus with the Yankees at 119. He doesn't have the same polish or command that Garrett Cole has, but Schlittler certainly has velocity and feel for spin that mirrors what we saw from the Yankee ace. The Yankees don't just have an exciting pitcher in Cam Schlittler, they have one of the most exciting young arms in all of baseball. And if he develops, we could be looking at the heir apparent to Garrett Cole's throne.